Detective Clara Hayes stood at the edge of Willow Creek, the cold autumn wind tugging at her coat. The water rushed by, dark and relentless, carrying with it the secrets of the small town. It had been 5 years since the disappearance of Eleanor Gray, and yet the case still haunted Clara like a ghost she couldn't shake. Eleanor, a bright-eyed college student, had vanished without a trace one October evening. She'd been last seen leaving the local library, her backpack slung over one shoulder, waving goodbye to the librarian. The security cameras captured her walking toward the woods near Willow Creek, but after that, nothing. No screams, no struggle, no evidence. Just silence. Eleanor, a bright-eyed college student, had vanished without a trace one October evening. She'd been last seen leaving the local library, her backpack slung over one shoulder, waving goodbye to the librarian. The security cameras captured her walking toward the woods near Willow Creek, but after that, nothing. No screams, no struggle, no evidence, just silence. Clara had been assigned to the case fresh out of detective training. She'd thrown herself into it, determined to prove herself. But as the days turned to weeks and then months, the leads dried up. The town whispered about Eleanor's troubled past, her strained relationship with her parents, her ex-boyfriend, who had a temper, the rumors of her dabbling in the occult. But none of it added up to a solid theory. The ex-boyfriend, Mark, had an alibi. The parents, though distant, were devastated. And the occult rumors? Just that, rumors. Clara had interviewed everyone, retraced Eleanor's steps 100 times, even consulted psychics and forensic experts. But Willow Creek kept its secrets. Now, standing by the water, Clara felt the weight of the unsolved case pressing down on her. She'd never stopped thinking about Eleanor. The girl's face, smiling in her graduation photo, frozen in time, was etched into Clara's mind. She'd promised Eleanor's mother she'd find the truth, but the truth had slipped through her fingers like water. As Clara turned to leave, something caught her eye, a glint of metal among the rocks near the creek. She knelt down, brushing away the dirt and leaves. It was a locket, a small, silver, heart-shaped locket. Her breath hitched. She recognized it instantly. Eleanor had been wearing it in the library footage. Clara's hands trembled as she opened the locket. Inside was a faded photo of Eleanor and her younger sister, their faces pressed together, smiling. The chain was broken, as if it had been ripped off. Clara's mind raced. How had it ended up here 5 years later? Had it been buried all this time, only to be uncovered by the recent storms? She scanned the area, her detective instincts kicking in. The locket couldn't have traveled far in the water. She began to search the nearby woods, her flashlight cutting through the gathering dusk. And then she saw it, a patch of disturbed earth beneath an old oak tree. The soil looked freshly turned, though the roots and fallen leaves tried to hide it. Clara's heart pounded as she dug into the dirt with her hands. It didn't take long before her fingers brushed against something solid. Fabric, bones, a skull. She stumbled back, her breath coming in ragged gasps. It was Eleanor. She'd been here all along. But who had buried her? And why now, after all these years, had the locket surfaced? Clara's mind raced with possibilities. Had someone returned to the scene, disturbed by guilt or fear? Or was this a message, a taunt from the killer? As she called for backup, Clara couldn't shake the feeling that the case was far from over. The truth was closer than ever, but it was also more dangerous. Someone in Willow Creek knew what had happened to Eleanor Gray, and they weren't ready to let the secret go. The wind howled through the trees, carrying with it the whispers of the past. Clara clenched the locket in her hand, her resolve hardening. She would find the answers, no matter how deep she had to dig. for Eleanor, for the town, and for herself. But as the shadows lengthened and the woods grew darker, Clara couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. The unsolved case had come back to life, and with it, the danger that had taken Eleanor. And this time, Clara wasn't sure if she'd be able to outrun it.